in a dispute between neighbours. Dundee United may be out of form, but they so often boss this fixture. However, Dundee must be thinking tonight's the night, David.
It's a great chance for them, isn't it? A chance to move into the top 6, to get within 2 points of United. You know, they say the form book is out the window in these games. I've never been sure about that. I think you'd always want to be the form team. And of the two tonight, it's certainly Dundee.
Well, it took us 3 seconds for the first foul. I don't know what kept him.
This is where the referee, I think, John Beaton, has to use a bit of common sense. I mean, these games are not ordinary. The tackling in the first 15-20 minutes is going to be much fiercer than a normal game. Hopefully the referee will take that into account and talk to the players instead of producing too many cards.
Here's Connolly. Both teams up and at each other from the off. Dundee are making a concerted effort to make the top 6 before the split. Hamilton and St Johnstone are very much in their sights, and Dundee United are only 5 points away. Dundee United have won all 3 previous derbies this season, 2 in the league, 1 in the League Cup. Can they make it 4 out of 4? McGowan now, and it's a foul by Butcher on McGinn.
Nice little spin from Paul McGowan, and a lovely pass with the outside of the left foot here from Kevin Thompson, who of the midfield players you would imagine would sit deepest tonight.
Thompson took that very quickly. It didn't quite work out. It still might, though. Conrad is up there, and he was challenged by Chipchey. The challengers flying in here, there and everywhere as Ania chases this, and that looked like a foul from him. A flurry of activity already. Heffernan and Foyet together, and a corner has encouraged Dundee.
That's all the centre-back could do. He was under good pressure there.
James McPake, pass fit, despite that knee injury at the weekend. And Dundee make this early corner count. It will be another corner.
Really good delivery, wasn't it? Looked for a moment as if McPake was going to get his head on at the front post. They arrived really late in the box, the Dundee targets. Difficult to pick them up, defend against it.
Quick corner, almost catching out United. Thompson. Difficult for McGowan.
Fell asleep at the corner though, United. It was Chris Erskine who's called 2 against 1 out on the far side. Of the 2, Dundee have started the brighter.
Both sets of fans are certainly giving it their all. There will be a right old noise tonight at Dens Park. Every derby matters so much. And the players have certainly been fired up in the early minutes. Dundee United have lost their last 4 matches without a win in 9. Can they stop the rot here? Here's Aidan Connolly. Ania pulls away. McGowan is close by 2. McGowan. Oh, he got his cross in. And it's Butcher who sends it well wide.
Yeah, awkward for Callum Butcher at that height, but Dundee have got to stop the cross. They can't allow that cross to come in on the goal side. Ryan McGowan gets it much too easy here, getting himself to the byline. They've got 2 out of the ball, Dundee. They have to stop the cross there.
First Dundee derby for Ryan McGowan, although of course he played in the Edinburgh versions, scored in the 2012 Cup final for Hearts against Hibs. From about a millimetre out, as I recall. Thompson. Dundee United lost at home to Ross County at the weekend as their miserable run continued. Dundee come into this on the back of a creditable draw at the other Highland side, Inverness. Chifty unable to keep going there. Stewart. Dundee in a hurry here, but McGowan will intervene. Dixon came through Dundee's youth system before crossing the road to play for United, now in his second spell with them after a spell down south. Paul Hartley won promotion in his first 3 seasons as a manager, twice with Alloa. And then he came in to take Dundee into the Scottish Premiership, where they are doing rather well. Canister now looking to have a go, but Chesniak is right behind it.
It's a decent effort. I think he's a little bit over-ambitious here. I think Heffernan makes a really good angle for him, inside left channel. He's looking for the pass. He's going to do very well to score from that range.
Tim McAllister, who came on as a sub at the weekend on his return from a hernia operation. Paul McGinn. His brother Stephen is also starting for Dundee. And nearly got a touch there, but it's cleared by Foyet. Retrieved here by Kevin Thompson. Now Willie Dyer. Chesniak has his eyes on that.
Yeah, it's an easy take. There's no real pace in the cross, but Ryan McGowan allows the cross in again.
Erskine will get a free kick. Yes, McGinn makes the challenge.
Yeah, I think it's his left arm looked tight. Well, surprised the cards come out. Left arm is certainly up, and it leaves Paul McGinn with a bit of a problem. 83 minutes in which you can't afford to miss time a tackle.
3 seconds for the first foul, and the first yellow card comes in the 8th minute here. A sign of a proper derby, perhaps, but yes, Paul McGinn will have to tread carefully. Dillon sends it in towards Butcher. Away by McPake. It might come back. Connolly. So tricky. Off the head of McPake and put behind for a corner.
Yeah, James McPake did well at the front post to get enough on it to get it reasonably safe. But Dundee came out, cleared the penalty box. They forget about Aidan Connolly. Lovely little spin here. And it was a very decent cross had McPake not got something on it.
Aidan Connolly will take this corner as Dundee United look for an early breakthrough. Connolly sends it straight in there. Foyet nearly. Erskine. Miscue there from McAllister. Heffernan. A surprise starter ahead of David Clarkson.
I think it's the right decision. Dundee fans in the enclosure below is not convinced, but I think the final touch did come off Heffernan. This will tell us right out the touchline here. Yeah, I think it came off the inside of his right foot.
Elliott. No way through for McGowan, but he will get a throw. McGowan in towards Chifty. It goes to ground, but the referee is unconvinced.
I don't know why he would go to ground in that. He's in a good position there. I'm not sure why he goes down if there's no contact. Took a decent first touch, as you'd expect from him. I think he's clipped there.
Archer was in sharp. Connolly feeding Chifchi here. It's been brought back here for a free kick, and Chifchi and McGowan got a bit involved.
Yeah, it looked as if it was going to kick off there for a moment. John Beaton, the referee, was right on the case. And you know, this is what we should expect at the early stages of a derby. Chifchi's got his arm round Paul McGowan's neck. Dundee boy did well to walk away from that.
It's been a very lively 10 minutes here. And a set-piece scenario for Dundee United now. Everyone jostling for position. Paul Dixon sent it in. Scott Bain dealt with it. Dillon sends it straight back, but straight back to the keeper. Effort unable to rescue that kick.
Yeah, acknowledges it was the right idea though from the keeper, trying to get the early diagonal up to Heffernan, who'd pulled off into the wide area.
Both teams look like they mean business in their quest to get one over the neighbours. Connolly, Butcher, Stewart moved in, Thompson takes over. Now Stephen McGinn, Heffernan in the middle.
I just overcooked it a little bit. I think again it's the right idea, but again it was Kevin Thompson who built the game for Dundee from deep. Kevin Thompson playing almost in that quarterback role tonight. He's going to be vital for Dundee.
Erskine, good take. It's Chifchi, it's straight at Bain.
I think he has to take the shot on. I mean, you can see the goalkeeper. Nobody really getting out to the ball quickly here for Dundee. Opens his body on it.
Dundee United have only scored 3 goals in their last 8 matches, and 2 of those were penalties from Chifchi. United 4th in the table, but 8 points off Inverness in 3rd, and they're looking over their shoulder a little bit at the teams behind them as we head towards the split. Thompson. Greg Stewart, who's had a terrific season. Oh, the mistake of epic proportions from Chesniak allows Greg Stewart to give Dundee an early lead in the derby. But what a major clanger from Chesniak.
Well, that's a major break for Dundee, isn't it? But in these games, you take any break you can get. He doesn't have to be told about the mistake, just how much of a howler this is. Defender gets too tight on Greg Stewart, he rolls him beautifully. It shouldn't be a problem for Chesniak, should it? I mean, this is one that he can save in his sleep. And what's a howler when it matters most? Not as if it kicked up in front of him, you know, it carried just about all the way into his gloves. Paul Hartley can't quite believe his luck.
He's had 1 or 2 moments like that this season, Rado Chesniak. He has gifted Dundee the lead here. Dundee United have a free kick though as they look to respond, look to atone for Chesniak's error. Greg Stewart will be claiming his 3rd goal in 3 league derbies. Dixon delivers. Erskine claiming a handball there, and it's given. Kevin Thompson handled it. It is a penalty to Dundee United, and a yellow card for Thompson.
Well, John Beaton here must have deemed this to the arm to be in an unnatural position. The ball has travelled such a short distance at such a pace. It must be the height of the arm that's convinced John Beaton this is a pen. Well, I'll tell you what, I think that I don't think you can say that's an unnatural position. I think his left arm is up to protect his face. It's just inside the box.
Nadir Chipchi about to step up here. 2 penalties converted in his last 4 games. It is Nadir Chipchi. It is 1-1. A rapid response from United. A cracking start to the Dundee derby.
That terrific composure over the penalty, isn't it? Gotta say, I've never been a fan of short run-ups, and this is almost a walk-up. He just shuts his foot on it, gives the keeper the eyes. Terrific composure. I think maybe a little bit fortunate to get the penalty, United.
Two goals in 2.5 minutes. I wouldn't say they have sparked this derby into life, because it was pretty much sparked into life from the off. Nadir Chipchi has his 14th goal of the season. Nadir Chipchi with a very prompt response for Dundee United. Chipchi for McGowan. Connolly. McAllister. It's a foul by Steve McGinn and Callum Butcher. It's all happening early on here.
I think he pulls out eventually, Steve McGinn. It looked as if he was going to go in high, but he withdrew his foot.
From one full back to the other, Dillon to Dixon. Connolly onto this now. Erskine's cross. Nadir Chipchi did receive a yellow card for his celebrations after converting his penalty. Willie Dyer. Paul McGinn finds brother Stephen. And he'll get a free kick off Folliot in a very promising position.
Yeah, really good ball, wrapped into his feet initially. Nice little turn. Just too quick for the centre-back here. And from this kind of range, I'd be surprised if they're trying to hang anything up. They really want to try and get something on target here.
And Greg Stewart might fancy having a go. Chersniak's rather relieved that Dundee United equalised so sharpish. Greg Stewart looking the favourite. It is Greg Stewart. That is a stunning save from Chersniak. It was flying in.
I think he gets the benefit of a good starting position. He doesn't go too far towards his right post. Slightly right of centre, the keeper. And it allows him to get across really quickly.
Sweetly struck by Stewart, who will now take this corner. Stewart towards that near post where it's met by Rankin. Erskine stepping in here, now Chipchi. Some run here. Butcher, he might go for goal himself, but it's blocked. Chipchi. Tripped by McGowan.
Thought for a moment John Beaton was going to his pocket again. I think Paul McGowan's a bit fortunate here. Well, maybe looking for it as well. This is right on the edge of range here. United again might fancy this.
Chifchi and Dixon over this, both of whom can hit them.
Just got to make sure they've got players following this in. You know, if they do get something that bounces in front of the keeper, it could very well come back off him.
Chifchi switched it here to Erskine, but it sticks with Bain.
I don't think he's got an angle there, Chris Erskine, to find anyone. You know, anyone on the end of that's going to be offside.
It's been a fiery and frantic Dundee derby so far. Willie Dyer's throw, returned by McAllister. Heffernan. Paul McGinn. Rankin in the way. It's going to spin towards Greg Stewart. Thompson. Steve McGinn. Heffernan. McAllister in there. Came off Foyet and onto the roof of the net.
Chesniak could only look and hope, couldn't he? Caught really flat-footed by the deflection. Again, Kevin Thompson involved, no surprise there. Lovely little ball into the channel.
Chesniak could only watch and hope there. Greg Stewart and Paul McGowan hovering near the corner flag. They have managed a short one before, but Dundee United appear to be ready for that possible option. This time, Stewart sends it in. McPake! He scores! A flurry of goals in the Dundee derby. This time, it's James McPake, and Dundee hit the front again.
Terrific delivery from the corner, wasn't it? Comes in with loads of pace on it, really nice height. And it's really hard for United to defend against the Dundee targets, who arrive in the box really late. They can't stop them getting a run at it. Chesniak gets his gloves on it. I don't think you can blame him for not saving this. From that range, he knows very little about it. And fair play to James McPake. You know, he sticks his head in where he might get hurt, and he got plenty on it.
Paul Hartley, jubilant again. James McPake, and only his second goal of the season. His first was a very early one against Celtic back in August. This is some derby. It's been breathtaking. Erskine. Chifchi. Dixon settling for a corner. Aidan Connolly will take this. And Dundee United bounce back again. Connolly whipped it in. And will do the same again.
Really good ball. Dropped into a really good area, Aidan Connolly.
Take two from Connolly. Butcher nearly up in, but squeezed off the line by Thompson.
And really cool at the post, Kevin Thompson, wasn't he? Didn't panic at all. Just held his position. So often in that situation we see players who take a step to the right and it goes into the post. Kevin Thompson just held his position. Very cool and calm. Great control.
A momentary pause. for a throw-in. Heffernan. Dyer. Willie Dyer delivers, steered away by McGowan. Foul by Paul McGowan. Will give Dundee United a free kick.
That's the power header here from James McPake. It goes through Chesniak, but I don't think you can blame the goalkeeper. From that range, he knew very little about it.
And that was why Nere Chipti was booked for blowing kisses at Scott Bain, the Dundee keeper. I think that's the side of his game that they struggle to sort out. So Chipti on a yellow. The Dundee derby is flying by. Incident packed, all action, 3 goals. Paul McGinn's throw. Chifty. Erskine making a really good run here. Chifty trying to do the same. Connolly might get a shot away, and it wasn't far away.
Good effort. Initially I thought that Ryan McGowan was the pass to get 2 against 1. McGowan screaming for it on the outside here, but this is more than decent here from Aidan Connolly. Well, Scott Bain didn't look perturbed at all, but that's not far away.
Aidan Connolly, his dad Paddy also played for Dundee United. Aidan coming from Queen's Park, which has been a pretty popular route of late. Queen's Park to Tannadice and onwards. Heffernan. Here's Stewart. McAllister in there, it's just evaded him. And Heffernan's going to retrieve this. McGowan. Shadowed by Rankin. Willie Dyer supporting. Dyer. Rankin will pop it out for a throw. Over a decade since Dundee beat Dundee United. They haven't actually met too often over that time though, but Dundee is certainly due a win. A lot of work to be done yet, but they're in front for the second time tonight. Willie Dyer. Stewart is offside. Sean Dillon. Connolly. Chiefchi. McAllister came away with it and secures a throw.
Again, real composure from Kevin Thompson. And I think is the one who is taking the lead here for Dundee. He's the one who's demanding the ball, building the game from deep in the pitch.
Kevin Thompson played in Edinburgh derbies and Glasgow ones as well. Paul McGowan for Thompson. Dillon should have this situation under control. right up for this, sensing that United might be there for the taking tonight. McGowan moved in on Stewart.
Proper tackle, wasn't it? Really good tackle.
It's a foul by Elliott.
I think they've had a better appetite of winning the loose ball, Dundee, so far. Anything that's loose. Normally it's a dark blue jersey that's onto it quickest.
We've had 30 enthralling minutes so far in the latest Dundee derby. James McPake loitering with intent again. Willie Dyer takes it. Flicked away from Stewart by Dixon. Well, McGowan will be onto this. Stewart has time to deliver. Chiersniak elected to punch it. Thompson returns it. Foyet makes sure of a goal kick.
Yeah, did well, defended it well. Good example of his body strength, isn't it?
We have 2 games for you this coming weekend, starting on Saturday when Inverness take on Celtic. That's from 12:30 on Sky Sports 2. And on Sunday, another derby down in Edinburgh. It's Hibs against Hearts from 2 o'clock on Sky Sports 5. McGowan. Trapped here by McAllister. He's not got much support either. He's not got a free kick either, which he was trying to win.
So pumped up for this Dundee side. I think they realise, you know, what's at stake. It's there for them, placing the top 6. Get onto United's shoulder in the table.
Dundee United won 4-1 here back in September and then thrashed their neighbours and their rivals 6-2 on New Year's Day. Maybe the tide is turning. Although United will hope that they still have plenty to offer here. Plenty of time certainly to show their powers of recovery again. Foyet. Hooked on by Chifchi. And Stephen McGinn just catching John Rankin there. Paul Dixon. Erskine now, can he deliver? He can. Top back by Foyet, but not quite in the place where he wanted to put it really. Heffernan now. McAllister. Another good challenge from McGowan. And from Dyer.
Proper derby, isn't it? Some terrific tackling so far. No concession at all in any area of the pitch.
On by Chifchi. Erskine seeing plenty of the ball. Dixon now. Chifchi. Dixon trying to take on Paul McGinn here, and he did to great effect. And Connolly goes close.
Terrific effort, isn't it? Really awkward on the half volley here. He's under a bit of pressure as well. Almost found the inside of the far post.
Thompson. McGowan. Stewart. Butcher, Connolly, lovely touch from him. No foul as Chipchey goes to ground.
Yeah, that point to the ball, that's a point that John Beaton, the referee, is making. Well positioned here, the referee only a few yards away, got plenty of the ball. Got a little nibble out of Chipchey in the way through, but it's a good challenge.
Free kick is given against Chipchey this time. It's 10 minutes of the first half, and boy, it's flash by. Stewart helped it on, cleared by Rankin, then by Connolly. McGowan. Paul McGinn. Heffernan in there.
He's a bit quicker, he's on the end of that. Heffernan, it's into a terrific area.
Ryan McGowan racing away now for Dundee United. And Willie Dyer is going to receive a yellow card now for that.
Don't think it's malicious, I think he just mistimed it. Ryan McGowan just too quick for him here. Nice angle here for United.
Willie Dyer, the third Dundee player to be booked, and Nadir Chipchey yellow carded for United. It is a fixture that has been littered with a few reds in recent times. Dixon delivers. Butcher, more time than Dundee would have wished him to have, but it's a corner.
Far too much time, nobody getting out to the ball there for Dundee. Difficult one to defend this, they don't get it safe, but nobody pressing here.
Another corner for Aidan Connolly. Foyet tried to get near that, but free kick has been given.
I don't think it's Foyet who's penalised. McPake did well to put a little bit of bite on there. Looked as if the centre-back was going to win this cleanly. I think it's given against Chipchey for climbing. United a bit busier in front of goal, but the stat that really matters in the top left, and Paul Hartley will be delighted if they can get in 2-1 at half-time.
Paul Hartley's Dundee have the advantage on Derby Day. For the second time on the night. Chesniak, a woeful kick.
That's a waste, isn't it? And he's got 60 yards to put the ball into. Just turns the possession over instead.
Chesniak has conceded on average around 3 goals a game lately, and already 2 tonight. Heffernan up with Foyet. Connolly onto that. Ania. Erskine. Connolly is the furthest man forward. It's cut out by McPake. Sent back by Dixon. Ania showing interest. Foul by him.
Yeah, a little nudge. He's not going to win too many of that type, Ania, against McPake in particular, Conrad as well. Just leans in at what he thought was the right moment, but he's getting very little change out of the 2 centre-backs.
Scott Bain, who's just signed a long-term contract with Dundee, played for Paul Hartley at Alloa. Paul Hartley first spotted him when they were together at Aberdeen. And Scott Bain was in the youth system there. He was singing the praises of his goalkeeper before the match. And a few others. Five minutes of this absorbing first half remaining. Connolly. Not much room to breathe out there.
It's been good stuff. It's not been an easy game for the referee. He's trying to keep the lid on it. Been a proper game of football, proper derby.
Can Dundee United respond again before half-time? That is their intention here. Dixon delivers. Scott Bain fancying a bit of that, and he's got it.
Good well. Never easy coming through this kind of traffic under that kind of pressure, real physical pressure. Did well to hold on to it.
Dyer. Butcher in and around McAllister. Chesney is having one tonight.
Took a chance, didn't he? I'm not sure what he's thinking of there. If that's cut out, United are in big bother.
Thompson. Butcher. Thompson needing 2 goes at that. And a third. McGowan. Heffernan. Nicely done by Paul Heffernan. Only a second start for Dundee. Greg Stewart. Off McGowan for a corner.
Did very nicely. Big fortunate Greg Stewart, but United have had a real problem for the whole game trying to defend corners, and much of it's down to the starting position of Dundee's big targets. They start on the outside of the D. They're very difficult to block off.
Greg Stewart's corner now. They're all in there. Heffernan. Thompson. Ania was able to move in. But it's only brief respite for United, or is it? Dundee's free kick.
Well, at this stage in the game with half-time approaching, I'm surprised they took it short. I thought they would have dumped it in the box.
I think it's been brought back. John Beaton waits. It's been an admirable performance yet again from Paul Hartley's Dundee as they look to muscle in on the top 6. And Wimbledon Hamiltonaki's into 6th if they win here. Could be timing their run just right. Thompson to take. Ania will be first to this. Erskine. This Erskine still going. Ania. Able to return the compliment, and now he's given away a free kick.
Trying to be a little bit too intricate at times, United, when they could be putting the early ball into the box. Nice feet here from Erskine, little reverse here, but they've got 3 in the box. If you look into the Chieftain in particular, had his arm up looking for the earlier ball. Too many passes at times.
There will be another minute added on in this first half. Connolly goes down, and McAllister's raging with him. It's no free kick. Stewart, meantime. McAllister. McGowan. And there'll be a last chance in the half for Dundee to extend their lead. There's a goal in the Glasgow derby. Chris Commons has scored with a penalty. Celtic lead on the stroke of half-time there against Partick Thistle. Stewart returns it to Willie Dyer. Kevin Thompson. It is half-time. Well, what a shame we've got to stop for 15 minutes. It's been exhilarating. Dundee took the lead when Greg Stewart fired in his shot, which squirmed horribly under Rado Chierzniak. A dreadful error from the Dundee United goalkeeper. He would have been rather relieved when Nadir Chifty scored with a penalty at the other end after a handball from Kevin Thompson. But back came Dundee, and James McPake rose to head them back in front. Dundee start the second half. They've waited over a decade to beat their city and street rivals. They're in pole position for now. Paul McGinn. Thompson. Back to Conrad. Terrible mistake from him. Connolly onto it. Now Erskine, but Conrad recovers.
Good tackle again, wasn't it? Had to get himself out of trouble there, and he did it really well. I do think United need somebody to stretch the game here. Anier kept coming towards the ball. McPake and Conrad could see him. He was no problem to them at all. They need somebody to go in behind, make the Dundee centre-back turn.
Butcher. Now Dillon. Here's Dixon facing his former club. Not getting much of a welcome. McGowan skipped away from Dixon. Stewart. Connolly. Erskine. John Rankin now. Over towards Ryan McGowan. Away by McPake. His wonderful header has given Dundee the edge again. There's been a goal at Pittodrie, and Aberdeen have scored it. As Taylor early in the second half. They lead Inverness. Celtic one up against Partick Thistle in the other match being played tonight in the Scottish Premiership. Rankin. Here's Paul McGinn. Brushed off Spittle. Dixon. Erskine. Good challenge from McPake, but Dixon is able to send his cross in. Cleared by Conrad, who then took a knock. Conrad is down at the moment, but having to quickly get back up. McGowan. Challenge from McAllister.
Yeah, good tracking, really good tackle. Conrad back on his feet. John Beaton was never going to stop it there. It wasn't a head injury.
McGowan certainly can go long. Possibly towards Chifchi. Scott Bain got a touch on it. Kevin Thompson can bring it away.
Got lucky, didn't he? Flat to that, Scott Bain. He's penalised for the high arm there, Kevin Thompson. Just his left arm here, he can have no complaints about that, surely. And Scott Bain, you know, once he decides he's coming for that, he's got to get more on that. Unconvincing to say the least.
A minor touch indeed. Erskine. Stephen McGinn. Dyer digs it out. Butcher. Connolly. Butcher. Chifchi. Rankin now for Dixon. Erskine. Spittle's cross. Cleared by Conrad. George Stewart hangs on to it. McGowan takes over.
Did well. Turned the safe way, didn't he? Turned outside.
Stephen McGinn wrestling here with Callum Butcher. It's come off Heffernan apparently. Could have been a bit of a 50-50 shout there for the assistant referee. Oh yeah, clearly shoved by Heffernan.
Well, it's a derby, isn't it? Help yourself to some of that.
They didn't make a secret of it, that's for sure.
They've got to find something in this second half, though, United. They've been far too predictable. Everything they've done they've done in front of Dundee's back four. They've never stretched the game. They've never turned the centre backs. Nobody going beyond Chiefty. We've got to try and mix this up a little bit more.
It's a foul by Connolly on McPake. Jackie McNamara unbeaten in 5 Dundee derbies, won 4, drawn 1. These are testing times for United, who haven't won a league match since they sold Stuart Armstrong and Gary Mackay-Stephen to Celtic in the winter window. Knocked on by Heffernan. Thompson. Paul McGinn. Paul McGowan. Rankin and Chifchi. Spittle close, but it was always carrying.
I think Willie Dyer should have dealt with that. Took a little bit of a chance here, allowing it through to his keeper. But that's what United need, you know, Spittle going beyond Chifchi there. Got to mix it up a little bit.
Heffernan with another shove on Folliott.
surprised the keeper's taking this. They better make this a good one. Can't afford to fluff this from this position.
He's stolen a yard or two there as well. Chifchi. High into the sky from Stephen McGinn. Rankin does the same. Dillon for Dixon. McGowan. Erskine, nice touch. Free kick goes against Erskine.
Not sure why. Kevin Thompson might have been expecting the free kick to go against him here. Erskine comes inside. Well, I don't know where John Beaton's getting that one from.
Chris Erskine thought it might just go his way indeed. Connolly, McGowan. Fisher by McAllister, sees him off. Dixon. Rankin. Spittle. And Rankin has gone for the return here. Erskine and Chifchi in the box, but it's comfortably cleared by McPake.
That is clever Heffernan, isn't he? You know, he's trying to draw the free kick there. He's got nowhere to go here, the striker. He's hoping he's fouled. And Foyt does him a ton.
Paul McGinn takes it. On by Stewart. McGowan. Connolly. Helped it on to Erskine. Now Chifchi. Spittle is in the box. Chifchi's cross is taken away by McPake.
Yeah, he's defended the front post well. James McPake, anytime United have made out this kind of angle to get a cross in, McPake gets himself to the front post. Just locks that area down completely.
Dundee United have made a fairly positive start to the second half. Connolly's corner. Away by Stewart. Rankin! Deflected for another corner.
Maybe fortunate to get a deflection. I think John Rankin choked the shot a little bit. He's much better than this, we know. Pretty decent from this kind of range.
Another United corner. Connolly tries again. Baines clearance to Rankin. McGowan got in the way and felt the force of it. Frustrating that for Dundee United.
Pretty comfortable for Dundee, isn't it? I mean, United at times bossing the ball, having most of the possession, but no real cutting edge about them so far.
Well, Hartley's Dundee making a late assault on a top six finish prior to the split.
It doesn't surprise me that United are having a lion's share of the ball. It's what they're doing with it that would concern Jackie McNamara. Very seldom in the game have we seen McPake and Conrad having to defend facing their own goal. They've never really had to turn.
Chifchi fending off Conrad. McGowan. Will it carry to Connolly? It will. Connolly's cross is long though.
Never really got his head up, did he? Nobody getting round the back.
Dundee have only lost one of their last 11 games, in stark contrast to Dundee United, who have been toiling. Lost their last 4. Last time they lost 5 in a row was back in 2006. They're without a win in 9. Last time they went 10 without success was in 2008. I don't really want to rewrite those sort of records. Erskine. Offside that'll be against Spittle.
Offside, but it's what United need a little bit more of, somebody to go long. With Dundee, I've never really had to turn tonight the back 4.
Shifty. Stewart. Thompson. Stewart again. Connolly now. Dixon. Away Van der Peek. Erskine. Dundee United plugging away in their quest for another equaliser. Chipchee. Dispatched by Willie Dyer.
Tackle. You know, Paul Hartley would be delighted to see Chifty going as short for the ball as that. You know, when he picked the ball up, Dundee had 9 players go side of him. He's not going to harm Dundee from that deep in the pitch.
Celtic have scored again in the Glasgow derby tonight. Stefan Johansson having some season. An hour into the Dundee derby. And Dundee United are having a go at the start of the second half. Needs must. McGowan's throw. Straight to Greg Stewart. McGowan. Connolly. Conrad down for McGinn. McGowan. Dillon.
Well, he's looking for a runner there, Sean Dillon. Nobody going long for him.
McAllister. McGinn. McGowan. McGinn. It's a rare Dundee attack in this second half anyway. Heffernan had a swing at it.
Well, might have taken something a bit special on the full volley. Really good crosser from Paul McGinn.
McGowan.
Not sure how Kevin Thompson got away with that one as well.
Dundee United's last league win was at the end of January against Motherwell, who were toiling somewhat then, if not so much now. Much improved. Dixon. Erskine. Cannoned off Chifchi. Paul McGinn will scoop that away. Rankin. Dixon. Butcher. Deflected! And Scott Bain had to get a little touch on it as well.
Well, Kevin Thompson trying to get out to the ball, but not getting there quickly enough here to get the block in. Almost got lucky, Dundee United.
We've seen Aidan Connolly take a few of these, looping this one in. Rankin, Spittle. Thompson could turn it away after Chipchee had a little go. Heffernan. That's a foul by Butcher, and he's going to receive a yellow card.
Well, John Beaton might have let it go. It's a bad tackle on Paul McGowan. Paul McGowan knows he's going to take a sore one here because he knows he's getting there first. It's in the box. A hold on Chifty. Well, I'll tell you what, defenders do that, they take the chance. Often seen him given outside the box, rarely inside, but Dundee don't want to make it easy for United to get back into this.
Mario Bellotti will be on shortly for Dundee United. Here's Greg Stewart. Gowan trying to dig that out. And he went as far as Dyer. Rankin. Dixon. Spittle. Connolly. Straight through to Bain.
Well, I think it's a cross. I think Aidan Connolly's looking for someone to get across the front there to the front post. Not a bad ball.
Aidan Connolly is going to make way for the arrival of Mario Bellotti shortly.
Good take.
Over the top here for Spittle, and Bain uses his head in more ways than one.
It's a good ball though, isn't it? You know, all of a sudden the Dundee centre-backs have got a problem there when it's dropped in behind. Scott Bain did well, had to be in his toes here. This is a delightful ball. United haven't done enough of that tonight.
Connolly is replaced by the Dutch striker Mario Bellotti, who scored a penalty here when United won 4-1 back in September, just returning tonight from a hamstring injury that cost him 3 games. Rankin. I think some of the United fans are too pleased to see Connolly go off. That's good. Now, Greg Stewart
needs help.
Stewart having a run. Heffernan. Away by Dillon. To McGowan. Thompson. Heffernan. Thompson. Stewart. Heffernan! should be the night. They finally put one over their neighbours. It's 3-1 to Dundee.
What a ball from Greg Stewart across the face. He's got two to hit here, Greg Stewart. When the ball's knocked wide, he's got two targets. And you won't find a better ball than this. Takes Dillon right out of the game. And all it's hoping for there is that teammates getting round the back. Wonderful piece of football. Get it wide early, they get it in early, and they get a striker on the end of it. Terrific stuff.
Prior to that, he'd only scored once in a year for Hibs against Livingston. His first goal for Dundee. And the invitation to score was sent over by Greg Stewart. And proved an easy tap-in the end for Heffernan. And Dundee have given themselves breathing space, which is always handy in a frantic derby. 11 years they've waited for a victory over Dundee United.
They've been much more economical, Dundee. You know, they've got the ball forward quicker. United, for me, have been too laboured, haven't got it forward quickly enough, and I don't mean back to front. They haven't managed to get it through Dundee's midfield often enough, haven't dropped it in behind often enough, and Dundee are well worth this.
Here's Chichi, though, trying to work something here, and it's another corner. Dundee United have it all to do to avoid a fifth successive defeat. A horrible run they're on at the moment. Jackie McNamara's team needs something here. Dixon delivers, and it's over and out.
They have chance, isn't it? Scott Bain comes for this. There's nothing on it at all. Well, anything down into the ground there, he's got a chance of scoring.
Behind Paul Hartley, Ian Davidson is getting ready to come on. Came on for McTake when he was injured at the weekend. He's going to take the place of Jim McAllister this time. Thompson. Foya. Dillon. Thompson. Dyer. Oh, he's found McGowan here. Just skipped away from him.
Surprised he was onside there. And this is a bread and butter diagonal here. Where are the two centre-backs?
Butcher. In and about 50. Oh, Bilati there, crashing into Conrad. It's going to be a yellow card.
Well, it was certainly going to be a card. It was just a matter of what colour John Beaton, what pocket John Beaton was going to there. I'll tell you what, that's a bad one. Not sure what Chiefty's up to either.
Well, it's 3-3 on bookings. And that was bone-shuddering from Mario Bilati. Serious concern here for Thomas Conrad.
Oh, that's a bad one, all right. Wouldn't surprise me if John Beaton had gone for a red there. He's so late in there. And Conrad's taking, what, 12.5 stones every ounce of it.
thankfully. And he's back on his feet, albeit feeling rather sore. The Bilate charged into it. Meantime, Dundee are making that change with Jim McAllister being replaced by Ian Davidson, his 6th Dundee derby, yet to win one. Like quite a few of these Dundee players, their time may well have come. And Dundee United are going to make a change as well, although whether they do it now or not, we shall see. Conrad waiting to come on, back on, and Robbie Muirhead waiting to come on for Dundee United. He'll be the next sub. Window arrival from Kilmarnock. He's going to make his 5th appearance, all as a sub. It's Callum Butcher who is going off, United's final sub. Well, he's already lost twice to Dundee this season with Kilmarnock. Looks like it might happen to him again unless Dundee United are planning a late recovery. Heffernan showing interest here, Foya across. Erskine. Bilate. Conrad in the way.
Good ball.
A quarter of an hour to go. Dundee taken apart 4-1 by their neighbours here back in September, beaten 6-2 across the road at Tannadice on New Year's Day. Dundee United also beat them 1-0 in the League Cup. The tables have been well and truly turned. Heffernan, Thompson, Davidson, Dyer, away by Dillon. There's a shove there by Davidson.
You don't really need any movement now from the midfield, and you know they've got that central 3 now: Davidson, Thompson, and Stephen McGinn. I don't think you'll see any of that 3 going beyond the ball now.
McGowan, Paul McGinn. Oh, what a save from Chesniak! It was almost goal number 4. Stephen McGinn.
Just uses the pace that's on the ball here, Heffernan, doesn't he? Really good pace on the ball. If he finds inside of either post, I'm not sure the United keeper has got a chance. It's straight down the middle.
Greg Stewart will go across to take this corner. Dundee looking to inflict further misery here on Dundee United. Stewart takes, away by Dillon. Strong challenge from McGowan.
They'd be right to make the challenge. Ryan McGowan's a poor first touch that was the problem.
Stewart bundled his way through.
This is one of Chesniak's better moments tonight. He's had his ups and downs, but probably a save you'd expect him to make.
Stewart.
This suits Dundee perfectly. Stop start. United getting no head of steam up, no fluency at all.
So Greg Stewart over this. No concern for Chesniak and co. Stewart in. McGowan. Kind of wriggle free of Spittle here. And goal kick. A bit of afters between those two. And they're continuing, Spittle and McGowan. Doubleheader at the weekend. Inverness take on Celtic on Sky Sports 2 from 12:30 on Saturday. And in the Championship, it's the Edinburgh Derby. That's the later time of 2 o'clock on Sky Sports 5. Second half hasn't quite matched the tempo of the first, but then that would have been hard. It's still been some watch, this derby. It has 10 minutes or so to run.
It's been a bad watch for Jackie McNamara. You know, you can't see United saving this. And from what we've seen so far, we've been a pretty poor second best so far. I don't know what Jackie does to arrest this slump. Certainly there's a confidence problem. The assurance that we saw from United earlier in the season has all but gone.
Home to Hamilton and away to Aberdeen. The next two games. Down goes long. Bilati with a little flick. Spittle didn't connect. Rankin trying to keep it alive. Stephen again. That's a foul by McGowan on Stewart.
Paul Hartley applauding in the background here. You know, that will do him nicely. Free kick, gets his centre backs up onto the halfway line. We'll just try and play as much of what is left in this game in the United half.
These are testing times for Dundee United. They have looked a different team after adding Stuart Armstrong and Gary Mackay, Stephen depart.
Yeah, I think it's important to emphasise that wasn't Jackie McNamara's decision. The timing wasn't his decision. That's up to the people who run the club.
Dundee will be moving within 2 points of their neighbours and moving above Hamilton into the top 6. Away by James McPay. Greg Stewart is definitely toiling at the moment. It's been another performance of promise from him. Came from Cowdenbeath. Harris, who's on loan from Hibs, will replace Greg Stewart, who's unable to continue here. been simply no way back for Dundee United. Off the head of Bilati. Greg Stewart can hobble off. And on in his place, 20-year-old Alex Harris, Hibs Young Player of the Year last season. Currently on loan at Dundee, but Greg Stewart scoring for the third league derby running with a little bit of help from Chesney.
Yeah, just a bit.
Last person to score in 3 successive derbies was Steve Lovell for Dundee back in 2004, which was also the last year that Dundee won one of these derbies. At long last, their wait could be over. It should be over now. They're comfortably 3-1 up. Free kick for Dundee.
United look like being inside, don't they? You know, their heads are down. It's almost as if they know this is gone, that this is not going to be their night again. Did expect a bit more from them second half.
David Clarkson might be coming on for the closing stages for Dundee. Stephen McGinn is challenged here by John Rankin, who's going to get a yellow card.
Running the clock down really well, Dundee into the corners. If you don't get a free kick, you'll get a throw in or a corner, and all the time the clock is ticking down.
Dundee seeing it out nicely into the final 5 minutes. David Clarkson will come on for Paul Heffernan, who certainly put a shift in only his third appearance for Dundee, and of course scored their third goal. David Clarkson scored his first goal in 13 matches against Inverness at the weekend, but he did score in his first 8 games for Dundee, a remarkable record. Got a hat-trick against United in his Motherwell days as well, as Dundee make a hash of that free kick. Paul McGinn will take this. Dundee United offering no threat whatsoever at the moment. Dundee bossing it for a change on Derby Day in the city of Discovery. Some United fans at that end, and there were 4,000 of them here tonight, are on their way. They've seen enough.
Difficult times for them, isn't it, really? Just want to see this run coming to an end. I guess nobody more than Jackie McNamara is waiting for that.
Steve McGinn. Thompson. Harris returns it. Paul McGinn. Kevin Thompson.
Putting a bit of icing on the cake now, Dundee. It's the only time you can enjoy a derby, when you're a couple up. The referee's starting to look at his watch.
Bilati. Muirhead. Rankin will need another go. Blair Spittle. Dillon just trickled away from him. Still found McGowan. McGowan. Retrieved by Erskine. Dixon now might as well go for it. Diverted for a corner.
Could have gone anywhere, couldn't it? Very decent effort from the fullback. Time to get it out of his feet. Still a bit of work for Dundee to do here.
The ball required. That one was retrieved eventually from the Dundee fans. Dixon delivers. Bain away. And McGowan onto this with Alex Harris ahead of him. Dundee United have a man down. And John Beaton has noticed as much. It's Folliot. The keeper reporting there.
I'm assuming it's a head injury if the referee stopped it. Was he clattered by Scott Bain, who decided really early he was coming for this. It's James McTake who's blocked him off.
Well, Dundee United haven't scored from open play for almost 11 hours now, and that is a real concern. There's going to be 4 minutes added on in the Dundee derby. It's been another poor performance from United. So often in recent times, they've been in charge of this fixture, usually by some distance. But it's Dundee's turn tonight. "34 fouls, 7 yellow cards." It has been that kind of derby.
Been a great watch, hasn't it? Proper derby match.
McGowan away. Dixon. Will be aimed here. Well, should have been aimed towards 50 and Benati.
It's not a bad ball. It just sums up United's night. You know, lack of movement in and around the box really has been poor.
What a big win this is going to be for Paul Hartley. And for Dundee. There's been much to admire about them this season on their return to the top flight. Free kick here for United though. The first minute of the 4 added on is down. It's going to take the mother of all recoveries if Dundee United are to leave Dens Park with something other than wounded pride tonight. Dixon looking for Folliot. It's away by McTake, who's been excellent. Dillon. Muirhead. Erskine's cross. Rankin's effort cannoned off McGowan. Painfully so. Dixon back in, McTake back out, and a free kick for him.
Terrific again from McTake, hasn't he? He's attacked everything. Defended the front post really well. I'm not surprised he's got a bit of cramp now. He's won most of the big headers. You see why Paul Hartley, when we arrived at the ground, Paul Hartley was mightily relieved that McTake was fit to play, and you can see why.
Oh, you can feel his agony there, can't you? Not quite as much as he's feeling it, though. For once, it's the Dundee fans who are singing and shouting, and Jackie McNamara is facing some challenging times. They've waited a while for a night like this. And if you don't mind, they will certainly milk the moment. Dundee United heading for a 5th straight defeat and a 10th match without a win now. Paul McGinn. Clarkson. There'll be another minute added on now, we're here, because of that treatment for McTague. Not that it really matters, because this game has long gone from Dundee United.
Yeah, I think United will be glad to hear the final whistle get back down the road. Real challenge now for Jackie McNamara, though, to halt this run and get some heads up. They look a pretty sorry bunch at the moment.
Thompson. That is that. Their time has come. 11 years in the waiting. It is a derby victory for Dundee at last in the city of discovery. In a dispute between neighbours. Dundee United may be out of form, but they saw